Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another Marine ECM computer, this time coming from Australia. Greg Cross, this is your computer. So he's from, let me see, Berserker, Australia, I think. Well, I also want to show you, my wife and my mother-in-law gave me this as a gift to also put flags in other countries across the world that have been sent computers to Mike Salazar Diagnostics. Thank you so much, all of you. They have helped me grow and help my small business. I'm very humble, very happy to see this. And if you want to have a flag in your country, send me one of your computers. I will definitely put it and tell your name. All right, guys, going into his concern. So his concern is a fault in the IAC. So what I have right now is I got the oscilloscope running. Due to the speed of the signal, I have the four channels, two on the injectors and two on the IAC, A and B, because this is a four-wire IAC. I also run in TeamViewer because it's very hard to control that computer with that little mouse or keyboard that I have. So I have that in here. But so what I wanted to show you first is the actual response on the IAC as I change the throttle. So we will see very shortly. Yeah, because it's the time base that I need to set up for this. It takes a little time for the actual screen to populate, but we can see the difference, and we can see that also on this noise light that I have as a substitute value. That's specifically for IX. When the IX hasn't found his position, you will have a red. Is solid red means it's not moving, and green is still finding its position based on whatever the computer is commanded. That test light right here is the fuel pump, and we got a final reference for sensor and sensor ground being tested in here. This is for him. Yeah, I don't think any phone numbers are in there, but yeah, this is your computer. I'll try to cover some of the information so he can see that, and all of you too. But yeah, everything is working good. So what I have done is I also have, let me see if I can move some of this to a better position because I should have another one in here. Let me see. This is not what I want to do. So we got throttle percentage. I need the total percentage. Let me close this all over again. Because this is the second time I actually was recording the video and I stopped it because of the problems that I was having on the screen. So let me disconnect and reconnect so that will not change the speed. Let me see if I can put the throttle position, throttle voltage. So throttle position has to be somewhere here. Gonna have to close this software. All right, let's close the communication. Close this. Like that, I can close all those windows. Come on. Bear with me a little bit, guys, because it's a little hard to do with the screen resolution that I have. Okay, right here. All right, so we have that. I'm going to reconnect to the computer. All right, this is a MEFI 3, so we select the first one, MEFI 1 through 4. It will connect very quickly, and when it does, all right, we click on here, and now we connect to the computer, which is running at 2700 RPMs, and we have the value of the throttle position is a little, no, it's actually okay. So let me select these in a bigger number so we can see all that. So I want the throttle position and throttle voltage. And we're going to put these two together here. And we want to see the IAC position accordingly to the changes that I'm going to put. And we got the IAC throttle follower, which is also no, let's get the desired IAC because that is what the computer wants and what we have. So those are perfect. So we can do that. So I'm going to, since we have that now here, all right, I'm going to change the throttle to a different number, and we are going, well, I might set a fault because I went too low on voltage. but we can see how the desire and the actual are matching. And we can see the movement in here and the movement on the noise light. So we can see everything working perfectly. When the IA goes to the position right now is in zero, as soon as it goes over to zero, because I'm right now on like 3%, even though I'm at 2700 RPMs, the computer, I'm like, okay, well, that's what you want, that's what I will give you. And this will stop when it finds this position. It will go pretty much into a solid line if, in this case, because that's a little bit too much on zero. So let me raise this just a little bit so we can get like a, a number. You see now that I have a 5 or 6%, well, 6 steps, because that's not percent, steps. Now the IX is leaded constantly, and now we can see how the signals on both the A and the B motor, right, because it's a two winding, it's a four wires IX, are now steady. The reason it was before, it was because it's in zero. So the computer is trying and keep trying to go zero, which is never supposed to happen. But we got no faults. So I can change the RPM. So I'm going to go into higher, maybe 4,000 RPMs or so. Change the throttle position accordingly to like around 40 or 42, which we have right now. So the IAC is changing accordingly to that command of the computer. And we can see the response right here. And again, on that light, IAC position 40, desire at position 40. So those two are matching. The computer sees that what is being able to move, because I will mimic completely an IAC valve, the computer is commanded, and we can see 12. This is a 0 to 12 volts signal. So let me put, even if we want to cursors, I just need to change the cursors to horizontal. So we can, and then let's go into channel 2. No, channel 3, which is the orange. So we're going to move 1 to where this is now. And I'm going to move the throttle so we can see a little bit of a response. And let me get the other cursor. So where's the other cursor? Trying to move cursor. Okay, that's cursor 1. Well, we can probably work with that, you know, but I should have this in 35 volts. So let me see if I press this one more time. Cursor, which one? No. So that's moving cursor 1. Um, Cursor 2 is at 35 volts. And how I get that one? I will check out right here. Okay, I was able to get it down to its position. So we can see now that the lower line, so if I move it TPS again to 40 or so, again, we're looking for movement, nothing, no movement yet. So the computer is still on that RPM, and that throttle is okay with 62. Remember, if this doesn't change, the IAC is not moving, right? So I'm trying to move this. So no, it's now based on the RPM. So I'm gonna have to lower the RPM. So this is very important. You see how it's now in the lower RPM, the IAC is changing. So we can move this to, we have now the two thresholds for that signal. So it's an 11.15 delta right between the low and the high. Again, naked eye, putting the cursors in there. But so it's a 0 to 12 volts signal, and they're happening. We can see right there, we're in 9% or 9 steps. If I move this, it goes up to 16 steps, and we can see both signals. I'm going to remove the cursor so they're not in our way. Both signals are completely moving. So what I want you also to show you is the injection milliseconds, because we're right now in 2 seconds per division. If I want to see channel 2, which I have right now up high, oops, sorry, that's not the one I want to change. I want to change this position. So I'm bringing channel 2 down, and we're going to change the timing. So let me change the time to maybe 5 milliseconds per division, right? So now if I do that and I change also the trigger, let me try trigger into channel 2, like that we have the trigger into a channel that we're looking at right now. We are also seeing a good injector signal. So now the reason I was so far away, because 2 seconds to 5 milliseconds is very different, right? But you know, these 2 seconds are completely in different speeds. So I want to, again, we can use the cursors to see what the amplitude of that waveform is. And obviously we're gonna have to change the cursors because now the cursors are reading channel 3. So we need to change the cursors to channel 2 so they can give me the correct information. And we can see that that is, again, a 0 to 12.79 volt signal on the injectors. The injectors are being completely pulled down to ground and they are completely good. I can change the cursors from vertical to horizontal, I mean from horizontal to vertical, and then we can measure if I'm able to move it. Yeah. hmm Close enough, right? So I'm going to put it with my hands in here. This is a touch screen, and we're saying that we had 2.93 milliseconds. Look, 2.9. So my simulator readings are really accurate, and we can also see that the injector milliseconds based on the RPMs and the map and everything are matching. So Greg, so far I have not been able to reproduce your concerns with the IAC. Everything is working good, so I cannot condemn anything yet. So I'm going to move again, sorry, channel 2 out of the screen, and I'm going to make that signal time-based change to the 2 seconds per division. That's going to take, again, a little bit of a time to populate the signals. It's just a way of the nature of the capture. And I have lowered the bandwidth of my signals, but now we see that they're there. All right, so again, if I change these and we see any changes on here, we will see the changes, and I hope that you guys are seeing that on the blue and on the orange again, and we can see that on the Noid light. All right, so Greg, I'm going to stop the video here, so not making it too long, but so far, I don't see anything wrong with this computer. I've been running this test for probably right now close to an hour, and everything is matching as desired. The only thing that I have noticed is if I go down to idle, let me show you that. So I'm going to go over to around 750. I'm going to lower the throttle position accordingly. So we are reaching now 150 steps, and that's pretty normal for what I have seen across the board in Mercruiser and other manufacturers that uses this same computer when they're in idle with that much throttle position. But if I lower the RPMs just a little bit more into 0.45, let me just see if that happens again. No, so far it's very good. No changes. All right, as long as it's no fall, the IAC, the throttle position is working good. So Greg, I will recommend you. Again, I'm not seeing anything wrong with this computer. So across the globe, I will give you recommendations, and this is what I'm trying to do with all this testing. If you're working in your boat or so, I would recommend you to get a Diacom. With Diacom, you can start doing these same tests on the boat. You can do as I did in here. So what I want to do is, let me move over to here so we can use the mouse. I'm going to close this because we're no longer going to be using it. But what I can do, or you can do in the boat, is you see that camera right here? See where the mouse is moving? If I click in there, this will start creating a recording. So I need that from you. So what I need you is to start a recording, start a boat, let it idle for maybe 10 minutes, and then take it for a short test drive while you have the computer recording. You're going to need a laptop, so you can just connect the laptop, connect the cable of the icon, which is long enough so you can close the engine cover and then run the boat for like maybe 15-20 minutes. And I want you to go, from completely cold engine, let it warm up in the dock, and when you have ready to go on normal temperature, take it over for again a 15-minute test drive. I want you to go to 2000 RPMs, 3000 RPMs, staying there for at least 2 minutes. So the recordings are going to show me that 3000 RPMs, and then 4000 RPMs for as short as time as you can. If you can do 2 minutes, that would be awesome. If you don't have room enough to go at that speed, or you're not allowed to go at that speed in there, get at least, 30, 40 seconds and then come back to 3,000, 2,000, and then idle. When you go back to idle, what I want you to do is to don't turn off the recording yet, just let it idle, come back so I can see the steps on the eye position and everything as you are doing the recording. And then when you are on the dock already, let it idle for like another 3 or 4 minutes and then shut it off. And then before you shut it off, you want to stop the recording. And this is going to this exactly the same thing. So you can name the file anything. So I'm going to put your name in here, right? So Greg uh, Cross, right? Greg Cross, Australia, test. And then this will save with time and date, so don't change anything and just add anything else, just add the first part and you're gonna click OK. So that file is saved. All right, where is that file saved? You're going to go over to your documents, open any folder. If you don't have any folder on your screen, on your desktop, just right click on your mouse and click on new and click folder. That will open a new folder. That's all you need. Now you can click on that folder and that will open this exactly the same thing. Go over to your documents and then Diacom data. In there, click on the and record. So in here, now I'm going to look for your name. Okay, so Greg, it should be, let's put this into alphabetical order by clicking on the name. So we're going to go over to Greg and we have Greg right here. Greg Cross, Australia test drive. All I need you is, this is a very small file, 89 kilobytes, so you can send that into any email. Send me that record file and I will be able to help you better. And I recommend this to anyone. If you have a boat and you want to get an opinion on what the problem might be and you follow my same recommendation, this is across all the boats. If you can record this and send me that file, I can guide you correctly and then tell you if you can send me the computer or if the problem is in the boat. It might be necessary to send it here to duplicate because sometimes it's something that is very ambiguous and it can happen on the boat and here, but I can test now your computer seeing what the problems are happening in the boat. All right, guys, thank you so much for visiting the channel. I hope you see how much information I'm sharing in here. Let me go back to here. But yeah, I hope that you see how much information I'm sharing here. Everything that I try to explain, it helps and it goes across the board with all different boats. Let me get this down to a normal idle. Um, and that might help others with solutions for your own boats. All right, guys, thank you so much for visiting the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.